Have you noticed, chums, when you go to the theatre time and time again, you're asked all the time for a donation, or would you like to sponsor a seat, or can you save the roof, that sort of stuff. Doesn't matter when you go, they're always looking for some kind of money. Now, as many people know, I'm a great fan of live theatre, any live venue, and in particular, entertainment. I just think it's a nice escapism. There's nothing like hearing live music, live singers, stand-up comedians, whatever you want to call it, as long as it's exciting. And the thing is, what you really have to think of is there's very few people in this climate today that can actually fill theatres. And by theatres, what I mean is literally fill every single seat. So it's strange to think, isn't it, that certain theatres up and down the United Kingdom keep crying the poor story of please help us, we're on the brink of collapse, the government won't give us any money, the Arts Council have their funding cut. And yet the opportunity to make a lot of money in one night, they turn away. And why is that? As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely to have your company. I'll have a lovely wave. Are you all right? Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Now, you know what I mean? When you go to the theatre, you get sick to the back teeth, don't you? I've already paid over the top prices for a single drink, which is always lukewarm with no ice and all that sort of stuff. But then they're telling you, we desperately need to do this. And you look at the size of the staff. I mean, a while back, let me tell you this. I went to look at a theatre with a view to hiring it, right? And I went in and I didn't have an appointment, but there was no show on that day, but lots of staff around. And I said to them, would it be possible just to reacquaint myself with the auditorium, just have a look? Oh, well, no. Well, I just need to look in. No, you need to make an appointment. Well, I'm here now. Can't you just open the door? No. Why not? Well, you need to, and it just went on. And in the end, I thought, you know what? This theatre should close. It's a shame because it's a Matcham theatre in the very heart of Yorkshire. Only a 500-seater, I think you'll know where I mean. And the thing is, it's run by the totally ill-equipped people. The staff couldn't work out the fact that maybe if I saw the auditorium again, I could think, yeah, it would work in there. But no, not allowed. And this is the problem facing, of course, the rather controversial, some people might say, Katie Hopkins. Now, Katie, as you know, whether you like her or not, is outspoken, but has a huge following, and has been able to fill theatres for the last few years, doing her own special brand of comedy. Now, I've met Katie, and she's been to the studios on numerous occasions. In fact, I've produced a couple of shows for her. And what's interesting about her is the fact that her real first love is just making people laugh. She is a character that she presents on stage. She's not like that all the time, People forget that. Joan Rivers was a character. Phyllis Diller was a character. Carol Burnett's a character. The sort of thing. But, of course, people just take you at face value. Now, here's the deal. You see, Katie has had very successful stage shows with a recent tour. In fact, recently filling out an 800-seat theatre. But not all has gone well. When she gets a theatre, what happens is somebody complains and then the whole of it's cancelled. The reason why I highlight this, she's not alone. The comedian Roy Chubby Brown has a similar problem, as do other seemingly controversial comedians. Now, my gripe is this, whether you like Katie, whether you like Roy or the rest of them, it's really up to you. But the theatre, the one that's getting the Art Council grant or government funding, should not be turning away an instant money earner. It's business. That's 800 seats, that's times 2 drinks, maybe 3, interval ice creams, programmes, and the opportunity for people who've never been in the theatre before that might book to see a play, a musical, or whatever, even a pantomime later in the year. And the reason why I highlight this is happening more and more, not just to the aforementioned, but many other people. We're now being politicised by, well, you're not allowed to see that. Meanwhile, they're crying the poor tale. So my story would be this: if any theatre, say, bans this type of, entertainment in your region, but it's already been sold out, then you're perfectly in your rights to write to the Arts Council and say why you're funding this. They are selecting what they want to see, not what the public want to see. You see what I'm saying? You must look at all of these things in that context, because if people don't hit back, you will be told exactly what you can go and see. Now, fortunately, there are many other venues that are ready to welcome the likes of Roy, Katie, etc. And they're benefiting from all the money that these sellout shows are bringing in. And as I've often said, with comedy, with musicals, with plays, and I've done them all, you don't have to go, nobody's forcing you. But those that do clearly do want to spend their money. And how glad theatres must be in this very cost of living crisis times that they're able to rake in so much money from one night's performance. Now over to you, chums. What do you think? As ever, please be polite, comment, like and share. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.